Some say it's like riding a roller coaster, sliding in a car at 40 to 50 miles an hour, tires smoking and the driver in complete control. It's called drifting, and a dedicated group of drivers is bringing the exciting sport to Lexington. Buckle up and hang on. Even if you have never heard of drifting, you've probably seen it in action. Like this Lexus commercial that aired during the Super Bowl.
If you've ever ridden the Beast in the back seat, that's what it's like riding in a drift car.
Deep inside a Lexington auto shop on a rainy night, we met a group of young drivers who drift. Is it more than a hobby?
It's a lifestyle.
This is my first dedicated drift car.
They spend thousands of dollars on special drift cars, travel hundreds of miles to compete in drift events, and love every minute.
I do school, I work, I do all that stuff, and just kind of what they call the normal life. But when I go out for a weekend, nothing else matters. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
To an outsider, it looks like the cars are sliding out of control.
You have full control even though you're sideways. That's the difference. A lot of people don't realize it. They see it completely sideways and think you're out of control. So you have to really overcome the fear of wrecking, I guess you would say, and you have to learn to control it.
To make it as safe as possible, drift drivers have roll bars installed in their cars.
If the car actually were to roll over, it would keep the roof from caving in on top of me.
They wear helmets at drift events, and drivers sit in a special reinforced seat. Drift events themselves are not car races like you traditionally see in NASCAR and Indy. It's more about drivers showing their skills at controlled sliding around a course, style points, and good old-fashioned burning rubber. To make the car slide, they've installed a special hydraulic brake right next to the driver.
This right here is the hydraulic emergency brake, and what it does is it locks up the back tires to help initiate a slide. So when you come into a corner, you'll yank the e-brake, it'll lock up the back tires, and the car will start to slide. And as soon as you get that slide started, what you'll do is you'll actually rev it up and dump the clutch. And what that does is it will continue the slide because the back tires will lose traction.
Sounds technical, but the goal is to not wreck or hit something that damages the car or themselves. They do this off the public streets and in a controlled area where even spectators are safe. Drifting is less about beating the other guy and more about helping each other. Drivers who drift say it's a powerful feeling.
React to the car and you just start to smile and laugh, and it's just, you get this overwhelming good feeling.
Till now, the Lexington drivers who drift had to go to places like Tennessee for events, but tomorrow, November 21st, for the first time, Lexington will have an official drift event. It's at 1631 Old Frankfort Pike. It begins at 10 a.m. at the training pad for waste management. Spectators are welcome, and drivers need to register ahead of time.